here with us tonight. My name is Alice Edwards, and I'm one of the team members, the ABC&H team members. We are here every second Friday of the month at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Ask Miss Rebecca anything about aloe vera juice and the topical. For the month of March, instead of being here the second Friday of the month, we will meet on the third Friday, which is the 18th of March at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You can submit questions in advance by going to abch.avjuice@gmail.com or call 202-556-3181 and leave a message. First, let's go over some housekeeping rules. If you're calling in on Zoom, use the reactions button to raise your hand to ask a question, or you can use the chat box to write your question. To unmute, click the mute button. To mute, click the button again. If you're calling in on a cell phone, you want to use 6 to unmute and 9 to raise your hand. If you have a question, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized before speaking. The ABC&H team is working in the background, monitoring the raise hand and chat box. We will call on you when you're next in the queue. We will have a slide at the end of the session that will give you more information about the company and how to place an order. Before we get started, I would like to remind you this meeting is being recorded, and the information you hear tonight is not scientific medical advice and is not meant to replace any advice you receive from your healthcare professional. At this time, we will have words of inspiration by Miss Donna Wright Miller.
Hello, everyone. I wanted to give a quote from Maya Angelou. It says, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. There's no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. And what you're supposed to do when you don't like a thing is change it. If you can't change it, change the way you think about it." Thank you.
Amen. I love that. Thanks, Donna.
You're welcome.
At this time, I would like to introduce you to Miss Rebecca Brown. Miss Rebecca is the CEO. She's the founder and developer of ABC&H Aloe Vera Juice and Topical. Miss Rebecca will take questions. If please mute your phones, please. Please. Miss Rebecca will give us a talk tonight for about 30 minutes. Then she will take your questions, and after that, we will have testimonies. If you do not get your question answered tonight, we will be here Friday, March the 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. If you need an answer to your question before next month, please put it in the chat box and we will get an answer to you. At this time, I would like to welcome Miss Rebecca.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone today?
Great.
Good, good.
Good, I'm glad to hear. I'm going to talk to you about something. Hello? Hello?
I
Okay.
can hear you.
Miss
Okay.
Rebecca, you're good. That was somebody who had a hot mic. Hopefully they put themselves on mute.
And will all of you please put your
But what we
phones
can do is
or
put
your
everybody on
Zoom
mute and just
on mute, please.
Okay. All right. I'm going to talk to you tonight about water. something as simple as H2O, which most of you are familiar with. However, from what I've experienced, a lot of people don't particularly like water. However, interesting enough, whether you like it or not, it's the most important nutrient in the body. And I'm going to share with you some of the health issues that can develop because of the lack of water. So let's just start with, what is water? Water is an inorganic, transparent, tasteless, odorless, and nearly colorless chemical substance, which is the main constituent of the earth and the fluids of all known living organisms. It is vital for all forms of life, even though it provides no calories or organic nutrients. It is extremely, extremely important. Now, what happens to water in the body? Water does several things. And remember, if you're not drinking water, you're depriving the body, you're starving the body, and you're putting the body at health risk. Water carries nutrients and oxygen to the cells. It lubricates your joints. It lessens the burden on the kidneys and the liver by flushing out waste products. It helps dissolve minerals and nutrients to make them accessible to your body. Now, if you're not drinking water properly, you're not having these functions occur in your body. When these particular functions does not occur in your body, you are asking for health issues that you created simply by not drinking water. And some people have said to me, oh, water doesn't taste good. It doesn't have a taste. And a lot of people have said they will drink sodas and other sweet drinks to replace water. There is nothing on earth that can replace water. So while you're drinking all of these other substances, just know this, you're destroying your health. Always remember that the body suffers, okay? Now let's just break down how water affects the human body. If you're not drinking water properly, the brain is 75% water, which is what tells the body what to do. So you will have a direct impact, which cannot function properly. And if the brain is not functioning properly, neither will your body. The blood is 83% water. The blood is your lifeline. If you don't have enough water for your lifeline, you are shortening your life. It's just that simple. There's no easy way to put this, okay? Excuse me. Your heart is 79% water. In order for you to have proper blood circulation, you must have enough water to circulate through the heart. If not, you could end up with damage to your heart or a heart attack. And these are health issues that you brought on simply by not drinking enough water. The bones need 22% water. In order to keep the bones lubricant, you need to have water. If not, they become brittle and they break. It is extremely important that you drink water. The muscles, 75% water. If you don't drink enough water, your muscles become tight and they tear, leaving the body again at a disadvantage trying to repair damage that you have created, simply by not providing the body a nutrient that is necessary for it to function. The liver, 86% water. The liver is what helps filter the foods that go into your body and any other nutrients. If you do not provide the body with the proper amount of water, again, it cannot function properly. So the filtration of food and all other nutrients will not and cannot occur. And you will have created another health issue for yourself. The kidneys are 83% water. The kidneys must be able to function in order to remove waste from the body. And if you don't provide that, your waste will accumulate in the body. You will suffer health problems such as constipation and urinary tract infections because you cannot flush the system. And once you do that, it's a health problem that leads to other health issues because the body can't function. You have to remember, the body don't function on what you need, it functions on what it requires. And you are to supply the body with that. As long as you supply the body with everything that I just said to you, your health will improve drastically. Okay, so let's go a little further. All right, when you think about not drinking water, it leaves you with a thirst. And that thirst is the body is saying, you need to help me. I cannot function. I will not function until you provide the nutrient that I need to flush the system, maintain the system, upkeep the system, and lubricate the system. And people don't realize you can encourage a heart attack by not drinking water, because the heart will get to a point, there will be no blood circulating through the arteries and the vessels of the heart, and the heart comes to a point where it locks. And if it locks, you can forget it because you will have a heart attack. It's just that simple. Now, why is water essential for the body? Water is essential for the body, again, because it flushes out the waste, it collects in the body, and it regulates your body temperature. It metabolizes body fat to help digest your food and flush all unwanted bad toxins from the body. Okay? Water serves as your body transport system. It carries nutrients into the body. It removes waste from the body. So it's the only transport system that your body has. If you interfere with that transport system, you have interfered with your health. And the tragedy of it is there are a lot of people that do this and have no clue that they're destroying their health. I've had people say to me, oh, I don't drink water, it doesn't taste good. First of all, it doesn't have a taste. Second of all, you should like it, because if you don't like it, your body loves it. If you don't like water, it's as simple as this, then you like to be sick. Because if you don't drink water, that's exactly what's going to happen to you. And if you allow yourself to get sick because you don't like water, you have to question, how much do you love yourself? Because if you treat your body like that until you put it into a position where it can't function because you neglected and mistreated, then how can you care for someone else when you're not caring for yourself? Okay. Dehydration can also lead to a rise in blood cholesterol because the blood becomes thicker. This results in the resistance of a blood flow, creating your blood pressure to be elevated. And when you elevate your blood pressure, you can have a stroke or heart attack. It's just that simple. Now, water in the body forms saliva. It keeps the mucous membranes moist. It allows cells to grow, reproduce, and survive. It flushes the body waste, mainly in urine. It lubricates the joints. It is the main component of the body parts. It is needed by the brain to manufacture hormones and neurotransmitters. It regulates the body temperature through sweating and respiration. It acts as a shock absorber for the brain and spinal cord. It converts food to components needed for nutrition. It helps delivers oxygen all over the body. And just think, oxygen is so important. That's why you see this virus is out of control. It is looking for the oxygen that you have in your body. So if you don't drink water, you are at a disadvantage because your oxygen level is low from the beginning. And when you are in the, you're deprived of water or have a lack of water, it created tiredness, low energy level, headaches, constipation, dry skin, chapped lips, as well as other tissues, severe dehydration, which again can affect your blood pressure, your blood circulation, digestion of food, weight, and kidney functions, just by not drinking water. And I'm not sure, when a lot of you have certain health issues, when you go to the doctors and they give you medication, the first thing they should ask you, are you drinking enough water? Because a lot of these illnesses are brought on by not drinking water. That should be one of the first questions that they ask you. Are you drinking enough water? Because if you drink enough water, some of these things can correct themselves. And you don't necessarily need medication. You just need common sense. Okay? So, what we're going to do is talk about how much water you should drink per day. You should drink at least 2 liters of water a day. You have to drink that much water because that gives the body enough water to lubricate it, to flush the system, to keep the heart, the brain, and all the other functions working properly, to prevent any mishaps or neglect from the body. If you're doing these things, you'll be surprised how well your body will function. So water is essential. Water is the main component, because as you can see, as we went through, every component in your body requires water. It cannot function unless you have water. And I'm not saying a liquid, I'm saying water. It must have water, not a soda, not juice, any of that. Because water was designed to perform a function. that none of these other liquids can perform efficiently and effectively with the body. Okay. Now, a couple other things, and then I will be done. I'll wait to hear from you. You should not replace water with juices or soft drinks. And the reason for that is they're liquids, but you have to understand they have other chemicals in them. Sugar. The body doesn't absorb sugar. It cannot utilize sugar to perform the functions. Even though the soda or the juice is a liquid, the body has to first break it down to remove the sugar before it can use it properly as water. And by that time, your body is in distress. You are creating illnesses. You are destroying your body. Whether you understand it or not, you need to know what it takes for you to be responsible for taking care of yourself. Okay? Now let's go a little further. You should also consider, in addition to drinking water, adding foods that contain water to your diet. And these are foods such as watermelon, radish, pineapple, cauliflower. These are the type of foods that will give the body a supply of water in addition to the water that you drink. See, when you know better, you do better. Okay? And we have to understand there are people that go on a fast. When you're drinking water in a vacuum, it can stimulate the digestive system after a long period of fasting. After fasting, you must drink water in order to keep the body properly functioning the way it's supposed to. Because if not, again, you will start to encounter health problems. And you will have to seek help when all you have to do is drink water. Okay, water, a lot of people drink water and they use a lemon. And that's good because what it does, the lemon cleanses the palate by reducing the desire to eat sweets. It will destroy the desire for you to eat sweets. Okay. Now, what you also have to understand is this. If you drink water, it helps in the weight loss process. Because remember, most people that think that they're overweight, not necessarily. What you are, though, is overwaste, W-A-S-T-E. And that's because you're not flushing your system properly. Understand this, waste, W-A-S-T-E, is the same or just has the same weight content or more as weight. So I've heard people say, oh, I just gained a couple of pounds, I have to go out and buy a new outfit. Well, no, all you have to do is flush your system, because what you're doing is you're buying an outfit to accommodate your excess waste. Just flush your system. And you'll see the excess waste will no longer become weight. Okay. Now, all I'm asking is this. When you don't know, you don't do better. But if you want to maintain good health, please, by all means, find out what you are responsible for. you take responsibility for yourself. Don't leave it to the doctors or anyone else, because you have to understand this. God gave that body to you. You are responsible for it. When it's time for you to be accountable to God for yourself, He's not going to ask you how much medicine the doctor gave you or what did the doctor do. It is strictly a one-on-one conversation with you. It is simply called the book of life. Everything that you've done is in there. So be prepared to answer for your good and bad deeds, and sometimes no deeds. Okay? So I hope that these sessions are helpful to you, because it is amazing that a lot of us, we lose, but we lose because of what the Bible says. We perish because of the lack of knowledge. And that's true. What you don't know can not only hurt you, it can kill you. So if these sessions are helping you, that is my intent and that is my goal. So that's it for me. Now it's time for me to hear from you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I tell you, every time I listen to you, I learn so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So now, let me hear from some of you all, because this is a conversation we're having.
Sheila,
Yes.
unmute yourself and let us hear from you.
Okay. Well, because Miss Rebecca, how are you, Miss Rebecca? This is Sheila.
I'm good, Sheila. How are you?
I'm good. I would like to first address the water,
Yes.
as you talked about. As a child, I didn't drink enough water, but we worked on the farm. I grew up in the country, worked on the farm, and you really needed to drink more water.
Right.
And for years, I stayed constipated.
Right. That's why.
And when I started drinking water, I was very regular.
Yep.
So I'm a actual witness that
Yep.
drinking water is very important as far as flushing your body.
Yep.
And you don't have to do laxatives and all that other
Yes.
stuff. All you have to do is drink water.
That's correct. That is correct. And it's so simple. Just drink it, but people don't understand that.
And I don't know whether Donna has shared with you the minerals that we use. When people say water tastes bad, I think they're in places where the chemicals from the processing that they do, because I can, I've been places where I can smell like chlorine in water. So that's what they're tasting. It's not the water itself. It's the chemicals that are treating the water.
Yeah.
And as far as the aloe, Miss Alice wanted me to share with you what I said earlier, that I had suffered with, I would say about 12 years, this what I call a thorn in my side.
Yes.
But it was a very sharp stabbing pain, like a knife. And I had just gotten some of the aloe from you. And I said, let me try this aloe right now to see if this will help me. Because I would suffer all night long, every night with this pain. And I would have to sleep still, don't move, because every time I moved, I would feel this stabbing pain. I drank some of the aloe and it was so fast. I said less than 5 minutes, my pain was gone. And I'm just grateful for that because I'm not having pain all night long. So this has been a blessing to me. I have to also share my ex-husband, you know, he's like my brother now, okay? But we were talking about aloe vera. He was burning some trash and burnt his hand, and he had an aloe plant and went and cut that plant and put it on his burn. And he said the burn immediately stopped burning. So I just got some for him. My last order that I got some for him because he wanted some. So, you know, I share with other people, but, you know, everybody, you know, I tell them it's bitter, but it's worth the bitter to heal your body. So that's all I wanted to say.
Well, thank you,
Ms.
Sheila.
Rebecca.
I'm glad it's working for you. And yes, what the aloe did for your body, remember, the bones couldn't move because you didn't have enough water. Your kidneys weren't functioning properly because you didn't have enough water. So the aloe went through and lubricated the body so that it could function without the pain that you were suffering. So that's
whatever it did, I'm so grateful. And I said, I'm going to drink this forever. I don't care.
Well, that's a good thing.
Thank you, Sheila. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
April, if you could unmute yourself.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Hi, Miss Rebecca. How are
Good
you?
evening,
I'm
April.
great, April. How are you doing? I heard good news
am.
about you.
Yes, ma'am. I am doing phenomenal. So here's the thing. I have a question for you. Water is good, but please tell me, is there the wrong types of water to drink? I actually stood in the grocery store looking at spring water, distilled water, purified water. I just need to know which water I'm supposed to be drinking.
Well, let me just say this. You're supposed to drink purified water that you purify yourself.
Got it.
Okay, there's only two ways to purify water, with heat and freezing. Because you have to understand bacteria. Bacteria will linger anywhere it finds an opportunity. The only thing that can rid anything of bacteria is heat or freezing it, because it's too hot for the bacteria to survive and it's too cold for it to survive. Now, I don't know whether you know the difference between purified water and distilled water or not. The difference is when you boil the water, you're purifying it of all bacteria, okay? When you distill water, you take that purified water, and there is a process that you have to use, but heat is involved, where you connect an apparatus. It's all enclosed, not exposed to the air, and you heat that purified water and distill it through a tube, and it's collected in a container at the end. That is why, and it takes some time. That is why, if you look in the store, distilled water is more expensive than purified water. And that's because of the process that you have to use. Okay. Now, the other issue is this: purified water and distilled water, they're both good. But when people go to the store and buy water, you're buying somebody else's faucet water. Spring water is actually good, but here is the problem with spring water. It is being flushed by rocks and all other kinds of obstacles. But let's say something dies and falls in the spring. You are drinking the water of whatever it is that died in the spring, unless the spring is enclosed, and very few springs you will find enclosed. Okay. So my recommendation to you is the same water that you come from your faucet. Get yourself a stainless steel pot. boil that water for an hour and a half, and let it cool, pour it up, take a look at it and taste it.
Yes, ma'am, I'm on it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
But you have to share with the group what has happened to you, because Michael told me.
It's so many things. Which thing did Michael tell you? Michael, which one? Listen, I have been taking this aloe religiously since January of last year. When I tell you all, my heart condition has completely reversed. This last doctor's appointment, let me tell you, they ran panels and they said that my blood, my vitamin D deficiency is completely gone. He said that your lab work is impeccable. Your blood is so pure and clean. My labs were perfect. I had abnormal pap smears. I can say this because we're having a conversation for the last 2-3 years.
Mhm.
First time it came back perfect since I've been taking the aloe. Perfect. I don't have to see him for another year. He had got so used to seeing me. It was bittersweet for him. He said, well, I'll see you in a couple years because there's nothing wrong with you. It's like my health has completely turned around. I look good. My skin looks good. I feel good. I'm energized. My mental is good. I mean, I feel wonderful. But my heart, the reversal of my heart situation, that did it for me. And I'll tell anybody, make anybody a believer. I ordered some for my cousin too a while ago, and she's been doing good. But see, consistency is the key.
Yep. That's it.
Consistency is the key. You can't take it and put it down. You have to take it every single day. You have to do your part.
Yep.
And I can honestly say, Ms. Rebecca, I love you. I want you to come do a seminar or something here in Charlotte, do a tour, do something, because people need to hear about this.
And I will actually, let me say this to you and everyone else before I forget. I will not be here next Friday. I'm leaving, going to South Carolina. So I won't have any shipments next Friday, and I won't have any Saturday deliveries because my mother, who lives in South Carolina, is going to be 95 years old.
Wow.
So I'm going to visit my mother and a group of friends that I have in South Carolina is putting on an event about aloe, and they've invited me to join them.
Wow.
So I won't be here because I have two events. And with my mother, it's amazing because she's 95, but she mows her own lawn. She cooks for the neighborhood. I mean, it's amazing. So just to know that she is going to be 95, I have to be with her, you know, and just let her know how amazing she is. So I'm leaving here next Friday morning around 1, and I won't be back until late Sunday night or early Monday morning. Okay. So yes, if you invite me to something, I will show up for you.
Sounds good. We got to get the planning then.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, April.
Welcome.
We have a question in the chat, Ms. Rebecca, and it's from Michael Anderson. It says,
Okay.
Ms. Rebecca, can you speak on why you do not eat and drink at the same time, as far as diluting the enzymes in your saliva during chewing your food?
Well, first of all, trying to eat and drink at the same time, you're going to choke and strangle yourself. That's number one. You have to understand the body is a machine just like any other machine. You can't stuff something in a tube and force it down while, let me see if I can put this so you'll understand it, while trying to get it to flush all at the same time, because the tube has one path. So everything, it gets stuck. It gets stuck. And that's why a lot of people have problems with digestion because they tax the system too much. If you tax your digestive system too much, you're going to run into digestive problems. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't digest your food properly, you will start to suffer illnesses. Because remember, the body is relying on you to feed it. But if you are causing congestion by having the food move too fast or not fast enough, the body is trying to decide what should be processed and when. All of that is extremely important. That's just like talking and eating at the same time. You can't do it. You either have to do one or the other. Does that help you?
Thank you. Yes,
You're
it
quite
does.
welcome.
And I hope Michael is okay with your answer. Are there any more questions, comments? Michael said, yes, you answered his question.
Oh, I'm glad, Michael.
Are there any more comments or questions?
Good evening, Miss Rebecca. This is
Good evening.
Barbara. How's everyone out there? I have one question going back to the water, and this is the distilled water. I have distilled water I buy. I love it. However, I want to know, is it safe to microwave the distilled water to get hot quickly? Like I drink tea and then I have distilled water. I take it and put it in the microwave and put it on one to quickly heat so I can do my tea. Is it safe doing that?
No, no. The reason is microwaves. I don't know about most of you, but you have to understand a microwave is a very dangerous machine. Just think about this. This thing cooks, heats in seconds and minutes. What you're doing is you are consuming the radiation from the microwave. I would not recommend that you do that because at some point we have to get back to the realization that everything has a time frame associated with it. When you force time for something to happen, expect a malfunction. Because always remember this, time is what brought us here. Time is what's keeping us here. Time is what's going to take us away from here. So we have nothing but time. So why are we rushing it? Do you understand my point?
That makes a lot of sense to me, Miss Rebecca.
Yeah, I mean, why?
How about Barbara? Barbara, are you okay?
Okay. Thank you, Miss Rebecca.
You're welcome.
Miss Rebecca, we have two questions in the chat. The first one is from Michael Marshall, and he wants to know what are the pros and cons of alkaline water?
The pros and cons of alkaline water is simply this. The body must have alkaline water, but you don't know the status of the buildup of the water that you're buying out of the store and how much alkaline is actually in that water compared to what your body's requirements are. And remember this, anytime you have a machine processing something, I just said the only way that you can purify water is heating it or boiling it and freezing it, okay? Now, if you've got alkaline water coming through a machine, always know this: as it's going through that machine, bacteria is being trapped. So you have to ask yourself, how good is this water for your body? Because what it's doing is it's floating the bacteria in the body. And that's why drinking water directly from a faucet is simply no good. You know how old those pipes are? Those pipes have accumulated bacteria over the years. So as the water flows through, you are consuming the bacteria. Now, alkaline water is good for you, but guess what? As you're boiling your water and the bacteria leaves, the water comes back to its natural form of being alkaline. You don't have to add or subtract anything because nature does it. Always rely on nature to perform its task rather than another human being. Because nature knows what the body needs. The human being is guessing what the body should have. And just like you can underservice the body, you can overtax the body. Does that help you?
Haven't heard from Michael yet, but now the next question is from Michael B. How does your product up prostrate?
Interesting. When you're having prostrate problems, your PSA levels go extremely high. However, I just got a text, I guess about 2 days ago. This young lady's father, who's 80, his prostrate levels, his PSA, was 7. After about 6 months to a year of drinking the aloe, she sent me a text. The doctor couldn't believe it. His prostrate PSA levels was down from 7 to 2. And again, this can only happen if you're consistent. As April just said, you know, I'm amazed because I've had people say to me, well, I can't drink it every day. Then you don't want to get healed. Because I've never heard that the aloe vera has healed the refrigerator while it was sitting in the refrigerator. It has to be in your system. That's just the way it is. How much simpler can you ask for anything except just drink it? That's all you have to do. So if you drink it on a daily basis, your PSA levels, give it about 6 months and have your doctor redo the testing.
Absolutely. Amen.
Okay.
Miss Rebecca, Michael said, yes, you answered his question. Now we have another question, says, this is from Brenda Lee. Does the product help with Crohn's and Barrett's esophagus?
It's what?
Crohn's and Barrett's esophagus.
Yeah, let me just say this. Anything God created, it will fix. And it will fix anything that's wrong with you from your head to your toes. However, the illness lies with you. If you drink it, it will repair it. If it can't repair it, it will replace it. If it can't replace it, it will remove it and regenerate you a new one. So all of these things are autoimmune diseases. And a lot of these things comes from weaknesses that you created by not drinking water properly. The body can only function properly if you provide what it needs. If you don't provide what it needs, it can't help you. It's just that simple. So if you do your part, let me say this to you. God has already done his part. Okay? Does that help you?
I think that's really plain.
Yeah. That's all I can say. If you do your part, God has already done his part.
Oh, Brenda answered yes.
That's good,
This
Brenda.
helps. Yes. And Michael B said, thank you.
Tell him quite welcome.
Yes, ma'am. May I ask a question right now?
Sure.
Yes, my name is James. I think you've told me this before, but the amount that should be taken should be 4 ounces in the morning and 4 ounces in the evening. Is that correct?
That's the least amount. But if you're encountering other health issues, you need to increase it to 4 ounces in the morning and 4 ounces at night.
Okay, so at least 4 ounces in the morning and 4 ounces in the evening, and if not, maybe more, but balance it out between the morning and the night, right?
Right, right. And the reason for that is simply this. All of your healing takes place at night while the body is resting. Okay, that's why most people in the hospital, you see them sleeping. That's when the body is resting. That's when your healing is most effective. So the amount that you take during the day is working as well, but the amount that you take at night is more effective because your body is resting. And it's more.
Would it be?
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Does that mean I may be better off taking 2 ounces in the morning and 6 in the evening, or increase it more at night and maybe have a minimum of 4 in the morning, or what?
No, during the day, you can take the 4, and at night, take the 4. My point is, do not miss the night dosage.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Let me see. There is a question from Michael B. What happens? Well, it's moving so fast here. What happens to the nervous system? Can you take too much?
Now, the only way you take too much is simply this. You drink the whole container without stopping. Unless you have serious health issues, I would not recommend that you drink more than, I would say, maximum 12 ounces a day. Okay. Because see what happens, the more you drink, the more effective it's going to become. All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Miss Virginia Moore has says, I haven't taken a Tylenol since day one, and I drank the juice every day for 2 months. Now, thank you, Miss Rebecca.
You're quite welcome.
And there's a question from Kitty. Does it help with insomnia?
Yes, 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 because what happens, insomnia means that the body doesn't naturally require sleep. Your sleep pattern is off. And I just said, that's when your healing takes place. So what it does is readjust the body so that it will require and desire sleep. And it will make the body get to a point where it must sleep in order for it to function. Again, it will do several things. It will repair the damage. It will replace whatever the damaged organ is. If the organ is badly damaged, it will remove it and generate a new one. And only God has that capability. So everything and anything that's wrong with you, if you drink it on a daily basis consistently, you will find that you will improve, and not just improve drastically, but the responsibility lies with you.
Okay, Miss Rebecca, there's another question from Brenda Lee. Says, can my friend's daughter, age 12, take it for a leaky valve?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, it's healthy for her because she's young, and it will start repairing her heart valve immediately. Let me just say this. Anything living that has cells can drink this, and it will see results. With a child that age, she should drink no less than 4 ounces a day. But with the leaky valve, take it to 6, 3 in the morning and 3 at night. And whenever she goes back to the doctor, I would say 3 to 6 months, it will have improved and repaired the damaged valve. Okay.
Okay, thank you. We have a hand up. Ken Roberts, unmute yourself, please.
Good evening, Rebecca. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Let me ask you a question. I had a problem that I guess runs in my family pretty much, because I did the same thing with my sister. We bought some of the aloe vera, and apparently I've been dealing with the problem with my stomach for many, many years. And it was just like, it could be, I don't know if it's leaky gut, irritable bowels, what it is. It could be diverticulitis or whatever. All I know is that, yeah, I have to control it. If I don't take the right stuff and I don't eat the right stuff, then I'm going to have a problem with my digestion. So the gallbladder issue has been a problem within my family for many, many years, and I choose not to have it taken out. But my sister and them, they went on ahead and had theirs taken out. So I tried it, and I told her, I said, it didn't seem to work for me. She said, well, my stomach might be a little stronger than yours. Let me see if I can handle it. So she tried it, and she had a problem because she could not. She said it was, sending her to the bathroom, which was sending me to the bathroom as well, a lot more than what I anticipated. It was like, one of those type of situations. But anyway, how do you suggest someone in that state to repair if it continues to keep you going back to the bathroom, and after so long you don't want to do something that's going to probably hinder you later on if you keep doing it.
Okay.
If you get my understanding.
Yeah, I understand. First of all, it sounds like you have diverticulitis. And I applaud you for not having your gallbladder taken out because it's needed. Okay. With it sending you to the bathroom, that's a part of detoxing. You're familiar with what diverticulitis is, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay. For those of you who don't know what diverticulitis is, what it is along the intestinal tract, where your food would normally go down the esophagus and then into the intestines and, head on to the process. In the intestines, you have a malfunction. Instead of going through the intestines and making its way so that the food can process, there you have these pockets that has developed in the intestines, and the food get caught up in these pockets and never get to digest. And what happens, the food stays there over a period of time. Diverticulitis can turn into cancer. So you need to flush the food out of there. You need to make sure that the pockets are healed. One of the issues when you say you're going to the bathroom a lot, it is flushing out those pockets. I don't know how long you've tried it, but I would say this to you. If you try it at least 6 to 9 months, you will see a change.
Okay.
You will see a change. You have to give it time to work. Always remember this, it will not work fast and put the body in shock. It works with the body. So it takes time for the body to be able to function naturally and be healed and repair all at the same time.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
Okay. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, with diverticulitis, don't play around with that because it is very dangerous, and yes, it can develop into cancer.
Right. Right.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll be getting with you on that.
Yeah, you can call me anytime. We can talk.
Okay.
All righty.
Thank
you. Mhm.
Okay, I don't see any hands or I don't see any comments in the chat.
Excuse me. I'm on the phone, so I couldn't raise my hand, I guess.
Okay,
I wanted to ask Ms. Rebecca a question. Ms. Rebecca, this is Gladys from Houston.
Hey, how are you?
And I'm fine, and you?
I'm great, thank you.
Good. I have a friend who's getting ready to have knee replacement surgery.
Mm-hmm.
It's not talking about talking her out of it now because she's already scheduled next week for surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know, will the aloe vera help her even after her surgery?
Well, yes, but I would highly recommend that she don't do it. I don't think a lot of people understand what hip replacement and knee replacement surgery does. Here is what happened. The body has DNA that it operates on. And every organ or every tissue that's associated with the body, that DNA is written into it so it recognizes each other. Now, if you take a part of your body off and you replace it with something that doesn't have that DNA, you're going to have problems with it. It's just that simple.
Okay.
There's no other way to put it. Because the body now looks at it as a foreign object. And it's not going to allow it to function with the rest of the body. Most people that have this surgery, that surgery only lasts them 10 years. And the reason for that, the body knows that it's foreign and the body wants to get rid of it. So the body secretes an acid onto that part to destroy it. That's why every 10 years, the person has to have it replaced. Now, what the aloe will do in a case like that, it knows that that body part doesn't belong there. It will try to record the DNA onto that body part, but the issue that it has is not flesh. It's not flesh. It will keep the pain down, but that's the best it's going to do because aloe works with tissue cells. That knee or hip replacement is neither. You understand?
Okay.
It's man-made,
Yes,
so it will keep the pain level down. And most people must understand when you have that kind of surgery, you can actually bleed to death.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
you're asking for more trouble than it really is worth. So you want to be careful if you have to make those kinds of decisions. You have to think it on the body as a whole, not in bits and pieces.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, then. Thank you very much.
You're good. You're welcome. It's good hearing from you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, it is 9:06. And I don't see any more questions in the chat or don't see any hands raised. So we would like to thank you all for being here tonight and taking the time out to join us on this Zoom call. And Miss Rebecca, thank you very much. I could sit at your feet every day. I tell you, you're wonderful. I really appreciate you and I thank God for you.
I see a question. There's a question.
Where is the question?
It's in the chat. She's
Oh,
asking.
okay, I'm sorry. I'll go to the chat.
It says, this is Barbara here. It says, does it help with dry throat and excessive mucus?
Yes, yes, and yes. First of all, it lubricates the throat. And remember, mucus is what destroys the body and make it very easy for cancer to float throughout the body. It will force the mucus out, and whatever's causing your dry throat, it's going to repair it. And what a lot of people don't realize, when you don't drink enough water and you drink aloe, it's going to cause the body to crave water. So it's going to force you to drink water. Whether you like it or not, it will give that body that urgent thirst for you to drink the water. And that's how it helps repair all of these issues. So yes, again, from your head to your toes, it will, not might, it will repair whatever issues you have. Okay.
Okay. So,
I think somebody else is trying to.
oh, okay. Is it a question?
Yeah.
I don't see anything in the chat. I don't see any hands.
Did you?
Okay, I don't see
92 degrees up here.
okay. Miss Rebecca, thank you very much. And all of you, don't forget, we will be here next month on March the 18th. It will be the third Friday instead of the second Friday. And I don't see any questions or any raised hands. So I think we're all clear. At this point, we have a slide that we will put up, a PowerPoint slide that will give you information about the company and how you can order products.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, is there a question?
If you can hear me, no. In the beginning, as you laid out the steps for tonight, the person had mentioned testimonies. So are you doing that or not?
Do you have a testimony?
Yes.
Okay, we will hear you.
Tell me this, what time? give me an idea of what time frame I'm working with.
2 minutes. Hello? Are you still there? Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me? I'm unmuting myself. I just unmuted myself.
Oh, okay. We can hear you now.
Okay, well, I don't think I can do this in 2 minutes, but at least in 2 minutes, I might be able to say enough to benefit someone. Anointed body cleansing and healing. Aloe Vera Juice.
Okay, you're going in and out. If you could speak up a little more.
Anointed body cleansing and healing. Aloe Vera Juice is a product that I've been working with for about 6 years. And 5 years I've been taking it religiously. But something happened to me on January 28th, Friday, that had never happened to me before. It didn't have anything to do with the Aloe Vera Juice. It was my body. I felt a pinching sensation in my big toe.
I cannot hear the gentleman.
Excuse me? No?
Sir, can you get closer to your phone, please?
We're having some difficulties in hearing you, sir. We're not sure if you're far away from the phone, but we cannot hear you. So if you can readjust your volume or bring your voice to the mic or speak a little louder, we will definitely give you an opportunity so that we can hear your testimony, but it is very difficult at this time.
I have the phone right up to my mouth, so I don't know what to do.
Try turning your volume up.
Alice, is he on the phone and the computer?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
He may be on the phone and then have his Zoom on as well. So if he's on the phone, he needs to unmute himself on the phone.
Are you on your phone and you also on Zoom?
I am on the phone, yes.
Are you also on Zoom? On your, because you need to turn one of them off.
How do I do that? How do I do that? Hello?
Okay, I heard that.
Yeah, but how do I do that? How do I try?
Okay, now we can hear you.
Oh, really?
Yes, we hear you now.
All right, hold on, because I'm not where my notes are. I just walked away from my notes.
Can you all tell him how to unmute on the phone?
Sir, we hear you very well. So whatever you're doing, you have an opportunity so that we can hear your testimony. So whatever you just did, do that again and stay there so that we can hear your testimony, please.
Okay. On January 28th, which was Friday, I felt a pinching sensation in the big toe, the left foot. And it never
Okay. Now you're fading out again. We don't know what you just did about 2 minutes ago.
He has to be on two.
Please, if you can do that again, we can hear you. I'm not sure what he's done, what he has done.
I don't know what to do.
Right there, sir, right there. Start telling us your story, right?
Okay, on
Right
January 28th, which was Friday, I felt a pinching sensation in the big toe of my left foot. It had never happened before. So coming into Saturday, there was pain. By Saturday night, the pain was at a 10, if we use a scale from 1 to 10. And the left foot had swollen to about 1/3 larger than my normal foot size. The swelling continued, ankle swole, big toe swole, that large bone that we kind of call, yeah, our bunion, yeah, that area swollen. So the pain was at a 10. Didn't know what to do. Wasn't going to commit myself to the emergency room. I was, searching for other ways to handle this. Obviously, anointed body cleansing and healer came to mind because of 6 years experience with it. And I started. I had two choices: use it full strength or dilute it. And here's what I mean. For all of those people on this call that might find themselves in a situation with pain in one of their feet, if you go full strength, you're using a topical, which is about 16 ounces. And if you're going to make a bath large enough for your feet to be submerged, you might end up having to make a gallon. So that means buying enough of the topicals to equal a gallon, which means you're going to have to buy about 8. If you dilute it, then you're going to use the topical, which is 16 ounces, and then you're going to use 16 ounces of water, tap water. And then you do that to produce a gallon. One will cost you $40, but in the diluted, it costs you $20. All right, I said that for a reason. You're going to hear the reason in a minute. Insofar as doing a foot bath, you're going to have to go with keeping the solution refrigerated until you get ready to do a foot bath. You need to bring it to room temperature before you do your foot bath. And you need to do it about 3 times a day, at least twice a day. So with that problem, I'm going to suggest that people buy whatever container they need to buy that will be large enough for their feet to get in there, or their foot to get in there, and then buy a gallon bottle, large enough, a gallon at least, so you can pour the solution in the bottle to keep it. As I began to use the topical full strength, it took about 10 days. I did not go to any doctor or any emergency room. It took about 10 days full, but in about 5 days, I brought that pain from a 10 to a 5. In 10 days, the pain was at a 1. Today, the pain is at 1. And I'm still working with that 1. So I'm going to encourage anybody to try the ABC&H, because this is what you're going to run into if you deal with a doctor. Listen to this. This is a pharmaceutical drug. It's called dichlorobenzene, sodium 1% gel. Listen to this. This drug may raise the risk of heart and blood vessel problems like heart attack and stroke. Hold on, I'm gonna give you something else here. So just hang in there with me. This is the medication that I was supposed to use. The risk can happen within the first week of using this drug. Follow me, follow me. In a week's time, this drug can do what I just read to you. And this came from a doctor, internal medicine doctor. So I have the medication. As a matter of fact, I'm reading from the medication, but I never used it. I'm going to suggest to all people that are on this call, I don't know whether you have full commitment to use ABC&H. But what I can say to you, if you're going to keep on buying this kind of medication for a left foot swelling and a pain in the left foot that goes to a 10, and you're going to use this to abate that pain, I'm going to suggest you may end up with a heart attack or a stroke. I'm going to give you the name of it one more time so you can look it up yourself. Diclofenac is spelled DICLOFENAC. And that's sodium 1% gel.
Okay, thank you very much. We really appreciate your testimony and hearing from you. Thank you.
Sure.
Barbara, if you're ready to put up the slide so we can talk about how to place an order.
Alice, I do apologize. Having some technical difficulties on this end. So if no one has not received the email, they can put their email into the chat. But normally it's all in the email that I do send out. So it has all that information there. But I do offer up an opportunity for anyone who does not receive an email from us, from the team, that if you can just kindly type if you want to be on the email list, kindly put your email to the chat and we'll make sure we'll add you to the email list.
Okay, Ms. Rebecca,
Yes. Yes.
you can have the final word for tonight.
Okay. Well, it was good to be able to share with all of you how to improve your health, how to improve your life. And just know this, you are accountable to yourself. You can't be accountable to anyone else unless you're accountable to yourself. And I said I will not be here on Friday. Anybody that orders their last shipment will leave here Thursday. I will be leaving here Friday morning around 1 o'clock. I will not be at Pentagon City next Saturday. I will be there this Saturday, but not next Saturday. I ask that you all pray with me to get there safe and back. The last time I traveled to South Carolina, I ended up with 2 tickets. This time, I don't plan to get any tickets. I called the court to find out whether I have to show up or just pay my tickets. Each ticket cost me $200, so I'm just going to pay my tickets because I don't have time to go to court. But this time I will drive carefully. I will make sure I leave here enough time so I can get there reasonable time, and I plan to spend quite a few hours with my mother, as I said. I'm planning to have a wonderful time with my friends in Columbia, South Carolina. There is an event that's scheduled there, and I look forward to being there with them. They have a lot of terrific testimonies. I haven't heard from them. Maybe you'll hear from them after I return back here. But I know that they have terrific testimonies that they will share with you eventually when they are more comfortable with it. So I just ask that all of you keep me in prayer as I'm traveling back and forth, and I will not drive as fast as I was driving the last time, but I think I was 20 miles over the speed limit. But nonetheless, I made it home and I made it there and back. So just keep me in prayer and just know that everything that we share with each other is to benefit someone else. So I thank you all very much for your time, your patience, and your understanding. And that's it for me.
Good night, and thank you all for sharing your evening with us.
Yes.
We hope to see you March
Night, all.
18th.
Good night, all. Have a good
Thank
one.
you.
Take care.
Okay.